What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tay Tay the Savior. I am coming to you live on the YouTube platform and on X, and I'm here to talk about the state of WWE and give you my 2026 Elimination Chamber predictions. The Elimination Chamber paper PLE will be taking place tonight, so I may or may not be able to watch it. Depends on what I have going on. I will be going to Maryland tonight. So if I'm able to catch it today, maybe I'll watch it with my VPN on Netflix. If not, then I'll catch up tomorrow. And with that being said, first is the state of WWE. Now, I have a lot of topics that I need to get down to. WWE so far this year has been on a downward spiral. And it started since WrestleMania 40. When Cody Rhodes won the WWE Undisputed Championship from Roman Reigns, it slowly started going down. Once they got with Netflix and ESPN and those big money deals, TKO, running roughshod, it became stale and corporate, and I'll explain why. Number one, stale shows and PLEs. Nearly every start of the show starts with wrestlers showing up to work with their coffees, and we get the commentary, and the commentary hypes up with little to no energy, especially Joe Tessitore saying, "Welcome everyone to Monday Night Raw, and we'll coming to you live from da 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 da." And I'm like, where's the energy? Now, some shows we do get pyro, which I appreciate that. This past Monday on Raw and yesterday on SmackDown, they started off hot with some chaos, Gunther interrupting Michael Cole and Corey Graves on Monday. Yesterday, we got Jey Uso being attacked, and we got the wrestlers who are participating in the chamber coming out. Drew McIntyre, of course, was involved. It was fun. One of the big problems of why their shows have been stale and boring is because of the crowds. The crowds are lifeless. On some segments, when you expect people to get out of their seats and pop, they're fast asleep. The crowd is asleep. And maybe it's because the crowd is not interested in what WWE is selling them. And I have a lot more to say on that. We get predictable and safe outcomes over and over and over and over again. Sesame Street Levesque, as JD from NY calls him, can rarely take a risk. And I've had an issue on that. I think I've called him out several times on that. And the constant repetitive booking. For instance, the MFTs in White 6, the Mystery Man angles, the 50-50 booking. So bad that the ratings are down. Monday Night Raw not making the top 10. SmackDown some weeks are going under a million. And then you'll have moments just for the sake of going viral. As we saw at SummerSlam when Brock Lesnar came back. We saw that at Elimination Chamber when John Cena turned on Cody Rhodes last year to join The Rock. They didn't go nowhere. Alright. So, the next issue I have is the road to WrestleMania. The road to WrestleMania started with the Royal Rumble, where we got Roman Reigns and Liv Morgan winning their respective Royal Rumbles. Now, both Rumble matches were predictable, especially the men's ending. Ronnie Roman was winning. I wanted Bianca Belair to win, but they ended up with Liv Morgan, which I was perfectly okay with. The final three was great. Soruka is going to be a star. If WWE doesn't get their grubby ass hands on Soruka trying to change her presentation or some shit. Jey Uso yeeting needs to stop, because we saw it at War Games where Jey Uso tried to run it back, and I was like, oh God, why are we running it back? And the same thing happened at the Royal Rumble. When Brock Lesnar was eliminated by Cody Rhodes and LA Knight, these people in Saudi Arabia were eating. They didn't pay attention to the in-ring action because they were eating. Like, can Triple H and WWE stop the eating? At least give up with the eating? Like, this is annoying. And the best part of the World WrestleMania so far is CM Punk and Roman Reigns face-to-face promo. I love that segment. I love that Roman Reigns and Punk spit bar for bar at each other. Roman Reigns mentioning why he was booed and how CM Punk made his life a living hell. Oh, I'm sorry, this was my dad. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Punk and Roman's, that was the best thing. Looking forward to Roman Reigns this coming Monday. Can't wait to see more of that. I wish I could say the same thing for the women, because Liv Morgan having to wait for weeks upon end to see who she was facing at WrestleMania, when we literally knew that Stephanie Vaquer was going to be Liv Morgan's opponent, and that reveal fell absolutely flat. It was lukewarm as hell. And now we got a mystery crate that's set to open tonight at Elimination Chamber. And I'll tell you who I think is in that crate. And I also agree with AJ Styles that WrestleMania has lost its luster on the Raw recap. And he's right. WrestleMania has lost its luster. WrestleMania went from one night to two nights, and same with SummerSlam, and probably the Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank. It's like when WrestleMania has lost its luster, as the road to WrestleMania has been so bad so far, you cannot sit here and disagree with what AJ Styles has been saying. I know many other podcasters have been saying it. I've listened to so many that they agree with me that WrestleMania has not been the same. And TKO selling to the Saudis didn't help his case. So that's all I have to say about the WrestleMania so far. Um, I hope that it heats up tonight at the Chamber. The next issue, corporate greed. WWE has been raising the prices for the tickets, charging you guys an arm and a leg, thousands of dollars to attend a show. And that doesn't include the flight, the hotel, if you're going somewhere, if you're taking the family forward, like that's like a house payment that you're putting on these tickets. And like I said before, taking WrestleMania back to Vegas this year and next year to Saudi, it didn't help. Because WrestleMania last year was mid. We had one of the worst endings in WrestleMania history, and John Cena and Cody Rhodes, with Travis Scott, interfered and allowed John Cena to win Title 17, which was one of the worst WrestleMania moments ever. And now you guys are blacking out watch parties and blacking out the Elimination Chamber WrestleMania watch parties so that you guys could like get these people to watch it live. We're not stupid. We're not falling for it. And WWE, you guys try to like lower your prices to 25%. It still didn't help your case. Y'all need to do a lot more than 25% to convince us to come into your shows and watch your product. Again, the TV deals, once they got those, they procrastinated. And it doesn't help that we got constant sponsors and commercials. And that's why I watch shows with a VPN. If you are not watching it internationally, like I am, then you'll have to deal with abundance of commercials. My next point is the writing team. Here's what I would do. I would change the writing teams for both Raw and SmackDown. I fire Road Dogg, I fire Michael Hayes, Bruce Pritchard, and Ed Koskey, because these four are ruining the product. I get good writers who know what they're doing, who know what the fans want. Bruce Pritchard, if you watch Unreal, wanted Pat McAfee to go over Gunther at Backlash, which could have been absolutely egregious decision. Because if y'all thought Gunther tapping out to Jey Uso at WrestleMania to his own finisher was bad, just imagine how worse it would have been if Pat McAfee beat Gunther and Gunther lost back to back. Like, thank God somebody with a fucking brain had to reverse that decision and had Gunther go over that. Can you imagine? Can you imagine Pat McAfee going off over Gunther, who had the longest reign of IC Championship reign ever, who would retire Goldberg, Cena, and AJ Styles. Road Dogg gave us some of the worst SmackDown episodes last year. In fact, he was responsible for SmackDown being the worst Wrestling Weekly show last year. One of the worst shows that I ever had to see last year. And it doesn't help that Chelsea Green is being underutilized. As Chelsea Green is being treated like shit. Michael Hayes was mad disrespectful to her at Unreal when he said that Chelsea Green would be a better as a utility player, putting over Charlotte, Tiffany. Like, how dare you, Michael Hayes? You were so whack for this, and you going on the podcast didn't help. Like, Michael Hayes is tone deaf, and Chelsea Green had every right to be frustrated. And I think Chelsea Green is entertaining. I think Chelsea Green is a world champion material. I think she's got everything she needs to do. Whether or not you think the Secret Service is good television, that's up to you. I thought that was disrespectful for Michael Hayes to diss Chelsea Green like that. Michael, you need to worry about the shows. And next up is Def Rebel. Def Rebel has the worst music in wrestling history. Okay? The example, Royal Rumble. Unless you see the wrestler coming out, you can't even recognize who is coming out. Like the Rumble last year, for example, like when Finn Balor came out, like I didn't know who was because the Judgment Day theme music was playing out, and I didn't even know like who was playing this. I never realized that. Like, who the F is this? Oh, it was Finn Balor. Death Rebel needs to be fired immediately. The Death Rebel and Death Rebel, unfortunately, has gotten to the likes of Jordan Grace. When she came out, zero reaction. Stephanie Vergara, they did Stephanie so dirty by changing her theme music. So much so that she gets zero reaction. The only reaction that Stephanie Vergara gets is when she's bouncing her ass doing the devil's kiss. And I believe the AI allegations that they use AI slop for some of the Death Rebel theme songs. And one artist called them out for using their vocal samples without permission, which I believe that artist for the Fatal Influence theme. And fans are sick of it. And even some of the wrestlers are sick of it. The only ones that I recognize are the CFOs or Jim Johnson's. Or if some Death Rebel songs included or some or the Death Rebel have good theme music for the Samoans or the Josies. If I were in WWE, I would make an attempt to bring back Jim Johnson and CFO Dollar Sign because they had some good music. Like Randy One's theme song was good. The Shinsuke Nakamura's theme song was They Bought Back. The Sami Zayn They Bought Back. Street Profits theme song They Bought Back. Like, whenever Death Rebel's contract runs out, which I hope they are, just cut your losses. The championships. We got champions not wrestling and not defending their titles. Example, Jay Cargill, Dominic Mysterio. Let's start with Dominic Mysterio. Dom Mysterio, he won the title at Survivor Series from John Cena. He got injured at Triple H's Gorilla Day at Tennis in the tag match. And he hasn't defended it since. Now, this coming Monday, Dom's got Penta with the IC title on the line. Jade Cargill, she won the title from Saturday night's main event from Tiffany Stratton, and up until last week on SmackDown, Jade Cargill has gone over 100 days of not defending her championship. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing, WWE? Why did you give Jade Cargill the title in the first place if you had zero plans for her? If and y'all holding her down. Hold up, I'll be back. Alright. Sorry for all that. Let's take a little sip. Let me take the chat. Alright. So, yeah. Take off, girl, 100 days. No competition. That's all I say about that. Not every title reign should last 6 months to a year. You can change it every now and then. Just like you saw NXT Tuesday night when 3 championships changed hands: the North American Championship, the Speed Championship, and the NXT Tag Team Championships changed hands. I've already did a video on that. You can check it out on YouTube and TikTok. You'll see my thoughts about that. And also, like that Cody Rhodes dropped the WWE title, to Drew McIntyre in a 3 Stages of Hell match. I thought that was much needed to shake things up on SmackDown. So yeah, not every title needs to last 6 months to a year. Next up, the tag team divisions. The women's tag team division has been on fire lately. Nia Jax and Lash Legend won last night on SmackDown. They're the new women's tag team champions, which frees up Rhea Ripley to possibly win the Chamber and face Jade Cargill. And I like the work that Lash Legend has been putting in. I got Nia Lash, Rhea, and Io on the great match. And the pairing is nice for Nia Jax and Lash Legend. It helps Lash Legend get some exposure, get her reps in. I see a lot of value in WWE. See a lot of value in Lash Legend as her fiance, Trick Williams. I wish I could say the same thing about the men's, because both tag teams are fucking putrid. The SmackDown Tag Team division at one point was on fire for the first 7 to 8 months. We had the Street Profits, Fraxium, DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, Los Garza, all fighting for the tag team titles on SmackDown. At one point, they were even the best thing on SmackDown. But once the Y6 came in and took the tag team titles, the tag team division went to shit. MFT's and Y6 feud has gone on for months. I am bored with those teams interacting with each other every single week. Uncle Howdy pinned Solo Sikoa last night, clean. And you would think that would be over, but nope. That fucking lantern has been stolen by the MFTs. And this is the best of WWE creative. MFTs, the Y6, who is going to get the lantern? Yeah, you guys are handcuffing Fraxium. Y'all handcuffing Motor City Machine Guns. Over on Raw, we got the War Waiters jobbing out to Obafemi. For what? To make Oba look strong? I didn't like that. We haven't seen the Street Profits since fucking October. Where are the Street Profits? The Profits have been out on NXT live shows. The Profits are much needed on SmackDown, I can tell you that. So, the solution to the tag team problem is to take the World Tag Team Championships that are on the Usos and take the SmackDown Tag Team Championships with MFTs. Put them in a match to reunify the Tag Team Championships so that we can once again have one singular tag team division floating on Raw and SmackDown. Just like 4 years ago. And only this time, one singular belt. That's not just me saying it. J.E. from NY06 been saying it for years on end. The Solid Monster been saying it. Merge the divisions. And number 9 is the fumbling of talented storylines. The Atomic Tour, like I said, it was a mixed bag. If you want my further thoughts on it, then you can check out my Watame Talk live stream. The Bloodline Hunter was supposed to be this big thing last year. They cut it off. The heel run for New Day was a disaster. Um, the heel turn started off with so much promise, and they dropped the ball with it. Um, Folks like Chelsea Green and LA Knight being mistreated, being shafted over and over again. Kai and Oscar Angle has gone cold. Ciampa leaving WWE to go to AEW is not helping the case for Johnny and the SmackDown Tag Team division. Natty's Bloodsport gimmick had a lot of promise, and they also managed to screw it up. Natty had zero reaction on Raw when she faced Maxine. Up next, Division. Soon as Seth Rollins faked the knee injury, the black cloud was placed on the group. And again, the division wasn't lighting the world on fire. Some weeks it was repetitive. We got Vision versus LA Knight, Vision versus Jey Uso, Vision versus Jimmy Uso, and the same mixed up baby faces over and over and over again. Penta, adding Dragon Lee, Sami Zayn. Like, it's the same stuff. And we all thought Seth Rollins hurting his shoulder at Crown Jewel would probably possibly speed up Braun Breaker's ascension to the top, but he had a hernia injury, and he aggravated it when he was lifting up the table on the Raw after Rumble. The Bronson Reed injuries changed the plans for who was supposed to qualify for the last spot in the men's table match. Bronson Reed was supposed to win. We had Jey Uso win instead. And yesterday, Jey Uso was attacked. Jacob vs. Logan happened. Logan went over. And we had the Max Man angle, which has gone on for many weeks now. We found out that yesterday that it was a decoy, and that decoy was one of Seth Rollins' students at the Black and Brave Academy. To be honest, I'm over the Masked Man stuff. The Masked Man needs to be revealed tonight, and I'm going with Seth Rollins to be the Masked Man. And lastly is Brock Lesnar. The Janelle Grant lawsuit is still ongoing. Right now, you guys could go over the lawsuit as much as you want. The return of SummerSlam left a lot of bad taste in people's mouths. Noticing that Brock Lesnar's name was in the lawsuit. The only thing I liked about Lesnar's run so far is the reunion of Paul Heyman. Him and Paul Heyman together are gold. The WrestlePalooza match with John Cena was a waste of time. It was a rehash of SummerSlam 2014. And Monday Night on Raw, Lesnar gave out an open challenge which pretty much confirmed to me that WWE does have their shit together. They're trying so hard to sell you these tickets. They are exploiting you people from coming on here to sit down live in attendance and bore you to death. Like, if you plan on buying a ticket to see Lesnar or any of these states, then you probably need to have your brain checked. And that's coming from someone who was scammed last week by a random Twitter user on X, a random Twitter user who pretended to be some staff support, took nearly 5K on my account, so bad that we had to call the bank and they got me a new one and I got my money back. So, you know what? It's better that you invest now. You invest your money. You can get an ESPN subscription or watch it with a VPN for these pay-per-view shows with the Netflix subscription. Like, this is why I'd rather stay at home, VPN, Raw, SmackDown, and the pay-per-views. The crowd was chanting for Obafemi on Raw, and we got nothing out of it. Now, I did read a report from Meltzer that the planned match was supposed to be Lesnar and LA Knight. I do not want Brock Lesnar versus LA Knight. That would be a terrible idea. You thought Lesnar and Ambrose was bad. Like, good luck trying to convince us that LA Knight has a slither of a chance of being Brock Lesnar. Like, that would be a huge burial for LA Knight. Obafemi and Brock Lesnar should be the match. They teased us at the Rumble. Give it to us at WrestleMania. Alright. 1-1. So that's all I had to say about that. These are my opinions on the State of WWE. What do you think about those below? Comment down below. And let's get on to the Elimination Chamber, with 4 matches on the card. First off, CM Punk defends the World Championship against Judgment Day's Finn Balor. Now, this is the match that I am excited, though it feels predictable, because we all know that CM Punk is not losing the title going into WrestleMania, as WWE is trying to give us the biggest WrestleMania match they can do right now, because they gotta sell these tickets. And CM Punk and Roman Reigns sells tickets. This is not about CM Punk. The story is about Finn Balor leaving the Judgment Day and getting back to Demon Finn Balor, because for months on end, we've been teased about Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio who's going to break away from the Judgment Day. It should have happened at SummerSlam, but injuries change plans. This has to be it. I think Finn Balor is going to lose again to CM Punk, just like he did in Belfast. And the split happens. So Punk retains. We're going to WrestleMania to face Roman. Next up, Becky Lynch defends the Women's Intercontinental Championship against AJ Lee. Now, AJ Lee is the wife of CM Punk. They currently reside in Chicago, Illinois. Becky Lynch is once again the Women's Intercontinental Championship. She beat Maxine to regain it. And I didn't expect this match to be taking place at the Chamber. I was thinking that they would wait until WrestleMania, but looking at the optics, it kind of makes sense to do it at Chicago because we all know Triple H loves his moments. The way we got there was absolutely poorly made. AJ Lee showed up a few weeks ago on Raw, and they had a terrible promo which completely went off the rails. And then the week after that, it was slightly better. But for what cost? We all know that AJ Lee's part-time. Becky Lynch at one point was doing some of the best work. At this point, some people are going tired of it. So here's what's going to happen at the Chamber. I could see WWE giving the title to AJ Lee and have her hold it until WrestleMania, give it back to Becky Lynch. I could see Becky Lynch get herself intentionally disqualified, which would pop Becky and AJ to run it back at WrestleMania, which I 100% believe that they will. Or I could see Becky Lynch cheat to retain. I am going with AJ Lee to win the Intercontinental Championship tonight. She will not have a long reign, just like Maxine Dupree. I love AJ Lee. I think she's good. But you don't want to have a part-time champion. So that's why I'm going with AJ Lee over Becky Lynch tonight. Next up is the Women's Elimination Chamber match, where the winner will face Tay Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship. Kiana James, Asuka, Raquel Rodriguez, Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, and Tiffany Stratton are the participants of the match. Now, it's nice to see Kiana James in a table match. I do think she is going to show out. Obviously, you got Alexa Bliss, you got Rhea, the Tiffany Stratton, and Raquel and Asuka. I expect them to deliver tonight. What I want to happen is Alexa Bliss winning. Here's why. Charlotte Flair was pinned by Kiana James. Now, if you watched SmackDown last week, Charlotte and Charlotte and Jade were face to face. And there was just aggressive from both sides, and they had to split them up. Kiana pinned Charlotte. Alexa's in the chamber. Charlotte is not. And they've been playing out this Charlotte being depressed that she's not in the chambers. She's not going to WrestleMania. Which I could see it. It's out of the blue. Tiffany Stratton, been there, done that with Jay Cargill. I don't want to see it again. I would rather see Tiffany Stratton in a women's US title feud at WrestleMania than Jay Cargill. Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky lost the women's tag team titles last night to Nia Jax and Last Legend. So, to me, she's the odds-on favorite. And Rhea vs. Jade is a money match. Because y'all know they're trying to sell tickets out there, and the ticket ain't doing too good. If Alexa wins, then Charlotte would be worked into a match, making it a triple threat with Jade, Alexa, and Charlotte. If Rhea wins, then I could see Rhea versus Jade at WrestleMania, possibly Julia versus Sky One at WrestleMania. Julia and Io was supposed to wrestle last week. Rhea took her spot. So I guess they're saving the Julia at WrestleMania or Clash in Italy. That's all is my guess. So my prediction is Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss hasn't had a WrestleMania match in 6 years, so it would be great to see Alexa in a major marquee match against Jade Cargill. If not, then Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is more of the bigger match. We were supposed to get Bianca versus Jade at WrestleMania this year. Bianca was sadly hurt. She will not make it to WrestleMania. She just had surgery. So I'm wishing Bianca Belair all the best. And finally, the men's Elimination Chamber. Logan Paul, who replaced Jey Uso, who replaced Bronson Reed, who was supposed to participate tonight, will take on Devon Evans, Trick Williams, and this lemon pepper steppers. Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and L.A. Knight. I like that this match is stacked. We got Logan Paul in there. We got Randy and Cody. We got some youngins in Trick Williams and Devon Evans. And we got the megastar himself, LA Knight. Now, If you watch Tuesday Night Titans with JD and the Solid Monster, Solid Monster proposed that Cody Rhodes wins the Chamber. Randy Orton will be revealed as the one who attacked Jacob Fatu. Because remember, Jacob Fatu missed a few months of action due to dental surgery, and they're still revealing, and they're still trying to figure out like who attacked Jacob Fatu. They're still running it. I do believe Randy Orton will be revealed as the culprit, which I agree with them. And that's how you get a fatal four-way. Now, JD, on the other hand, proposed Randy Orton wins, and because Drew McIntyre has been interfering in Cody's matches and Jacob Fatu matches over and over and over and over and over again, Nick Aldis will be fed up with Drew McIntyre's BS and will force Drew McIntyre to defend the title against not only Randy Orton, but Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu. I am going with Solid Monster's proposal, and I'm going with Cody Rhodes to win the Chamber. Now, we know that Drew and Cody is not the Wrestlemania match that I would like to see. We've been there, done that so many times. Like, they even had a 3 Stages of Hell match. So, they're gonna have to work Jacob and Randy into a match. And that is when Cody Rhodes will win the Chamber. And Randy is frustrated. Cody and Randy are the last two. Cody pins Randy. Randy gets pissed off. And he snaps and turns on Cody Rhodes and writing him off of television for quite some time. That's what I would love to see. And then, of course, Drew McIntyre and the Jacob Fatu are worked into this week at a fatal four-way for the WWE Undisputed Championship. That's the only way I see that WWE title match main eventing night one. So, that's all I got for the Elimination Chamber and the State of WWE address. What do you think needs to change going into WrestleMania season? Who you got for the Elimination Chamber? As far as who is in the crate, it is Danhausen. And Danhausen, we all know, is friends with CM Punk. So that's the only thing that makes sense. I know it's all for a moment, but it is Danhausen. I don't see it being Chris Jericho. He is still on the AEW roster page, as far as I'm concerned. Let me know down below. Comment down below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell on notifications if you want to be notified of what I'm doing. And I'll see you next time.